friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. Please excuse my voice today. I've been a little bit under the weather, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this style video, because trust me, you do not want to see me on camera right now. But we have 5 delicious one-pot meals for you today. These have really simple ingredients that come together, whether it be a crock pot or a Dutch oven or a skillet. It's all made in one dish, and we hope you enjoy. Let's get started. By the way, if you would like help building your food storage, scroll down to the description box of this video and click this link for our free 1-year food storage plan. We calculated a year's supply of food for one person, then broke that data down into a week-by-week list of items to build your pantry on a budget. We'll send it straight to your inbox. If you're new here, we invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss all of our upcoming food preservation, pantry storage, and gardening tutorials. Now back to the kitchen. First up is chicken and dumplings, and this is going to come together in a crock pot. You see me on screen right now mixing up my cream of chicken soup. If you have a can of cream and chicken soup, you can certainly just use that and skip this process. But other than cooking up the cream of soup separately, it all goes in the crock pot and cooks up in one dish. I'm going to read the ingredients list to you in full so that I don't miss anything later as I get to talking. So to start out, we need 3 to 4 chicken breasts. Over the years, I have decreased that down to 2 somewhat large chicken breasts, and that has been fine for stretching this meal. And then we need 1 can of cream of chicken soup and 1 can of cream of celery soup. Alternatively, you can make it like I am here and go ahead and put in a tablespoon of your chicken broth powder and a tablespoon of dehydrated or freeze-dried celery, and add that to your base. We've mentioned many times how to make cream of soup here on this channel, but that's all you need to make the cream of chicken or cream of celery. To that, we need a quart of chicken broth. I have since used a quart of onion broth. We love that onion broth in this dish. And then a can of peas, and then a can of carrots. Alternatively, you can use dehydrated carrots as I do here. This is a very versatile recipe. I will use whatever I have on hand when it comes to vegetables, but also when it comes to what form the vegetables are in. Sometimes they will be dehydrated, sometimes they'll be frozen in my freezer, sometimes they'll be in a can, just whatever it is, it works. If you are using dehydrated carrots, as I am here, I do recommend adding a half a cup extra of liquid, whether that be the chicken broth or the onion broth, or even the cream of soup, or even just half cup of water. Just a little bit of extra liquid to accommodate for anything that might be dehydrated or freeze-dried in your recipe. As far as vegetables and meat goes, that is it. Then it's just time for the seasonings, which we'll get to in just a second. But I go ahead and add the cream of chicken and everything all to the pot to begin with before, we're not doing our dumplings yet. That's going to happen later on. So at this point, we have the chicken breast, the cream of soups, your chicken broth, and any vegetables that you want in it. I usually do peas and carrots, sometimes celery as well. So all that is in the pot. Give it a good stir, and then go ahead and plug it in and turn it on low. Depending on how quickly you want this ready, y'all know how crock pots work. If you want it ready faster, go ahead and put it on high and cook for about 4 to 5 hours. If you want it to cook all day while you're at work or away from the house or something, put it on low and let it go 6 to 7 hours. But before I put the lid on to cook all day, I will sprinkle on a very generous layer of fresh crushed parsley. After it has cooked for pretty much the full length of time, I will take those chicken, whether it's chicken breast or chicken thighs, I will take them out and shred them up with my little ground beef shredder here. This is the only tool that I use to shred my meat for now, because it is just a fantastic little tool. It doesn't require me pulling out my stand mixer. And it's a lot faster than just shredding with forks. So I highly recommend that tool. I'll have it linked in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. But go ahead and shred up your meat and then put it back into your crock pot. This just makes sure that it's good for stretching the meal, but it also makes sure that everyone gets a little bit of chicken in every bite versus, really large chunks of chicken here and there. But once you have your shredded chicken back in there, now it's ready to add in our dumplings. And I like to cheat and just do a can of biscuits. And I will just tear them off into little dumpling-sized pieces and put them on the surface of the crock pot. You can absolutely do true from-scratch dumplings if you like. You can use homemade dumplings sometimes, homemade biscuits sometimes. If I have those in my freezer, I will use those instead. But basically, you just need to add your dumplings at this point. And I will take my spatula and dip the dumplings or pieces of biscuit just barely into the liquid, so that they don't brown, basically, because we need to cook them in the crock pot for another 45 minutes to an hour. And dipping them in the juice allows them to stay nice and squishy like a dumpling should be versus getting kind of hard and tough on the outside. So just put the lid on when you're done with your dumplings and let it cook for 45 minutes to an hour, and it is ready to serve. This is an excellent quick meal on a cold fall or winter evening as we are experiencing right now. And it is a comforting meal, especially when you're sick. In fact, we are eating it tonight, which is one reason why I thought about this meal. Okay, next dish is going to be fajita, beans, and rice. This is going to be something, a filling that you would use for tacos, burritos, something like that. This is one of our dehydrated meals in jars that we do pretty regularly. I'm going to read off what is inside that jar that you see on the screen right now. It is 1 cup of rice, about 1/4 cup of dehydrated peppers, 1/2 cup of dehydrated onions, a tablespoon of taco seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a teaspoon of garlic, and 1/4 cup of tomato powder. And then I will usually do just a teeny tiny bit of salt and sugar. I'm talking like 1/2 teaspoon of each, and it just makes that tomato powder not quite so acidic tasting. But that's all, everything in the jar. So when you go to cook it up, you need to add 4 cups of water, and then a jar of beans, whatever you want, and then a pint jar of whatever meat that you want. And this is one reason why we absolutely love canning meat, whether it be venison, beef, chicken, rabbit. Having pints of already canned and cooked meat on your shelf makes meals like this so easy, one-pot meals especially. So I'm putting 1 pint of ground beef into this meal and 1 pint of pinto beans into this meal. We also really love this with black beans, just whatever you want to do. You can see my thermal cooker in the background. This is one of the meals that we like to do in the thermal cooker when I just don't want to use electricity and don't want to use the crock pot, or even just on the stovetop like this. If you're interested, I will link that video in the description box below. This is not a how to use a thermal cooker tutorial, so I'm not going to go into all that. And this can just cook up right on top of your stovetop in a big pot like this. I do like to add extra taco seasoning. There is a tablespoon of taco seasoning in that dry mix. I just find that sometimes it is just not quite taco-y enough, so I'll just add a little bit more to taste when I go to cook it up. But at this point, all you have to do is put the lid on, bring it to a boil, stir it around, of course, bring it to a boil, and once it's at a boil, let it simmer for about 20-25 minutes. You want to watch it closely because essentially everything's pretty much cooked in here. So essentially what you're doing is just cooking the rice inside of this mixture and allowing all those dehydrated ingredients to rehydrate. So that generally takes 20-25 minutes, but just check and see how it's looking. Here's how it looks at the end, the finished product, and this would go into a burrito or a quesadilla or a taco or something like that. It's one of our favorite meals. Okay, next up is our shredded Italian pork supper. This is one of our meals in jars, but this can be made in a crock pot, and I want to read you the ingredients if you want to be making this in a crock pot. You'll want about a 3-pound beef chuck roast, and then you can get 2 peppercini peppers, but I highly recommend doing more than that because the Italian beef, what makes it Italian is the pepperoncinis and the Italian dressing mix. So I would recommend doing more than that, especially if you're going to be doing a large crock pot meal. But anyway, after that, it's going to be a packet of Italian dressing mix and 3 teaspoons of fresh minced garlic, and then ever how much peppercini juice that you want to add. If you get those pepperoncinis from the store, it's already in a jar, already sliced up for you. Of course, it's packed in juice. Depending on how big of the jar is and how big of I'm making, sometimes I will pour the entire jar into the crock pot and just let it cook on low for about 6 hours, and it is pull apart tender. I do use my ground beef masher to get it nice and shredded, and we almost always use this or serve this on sandwiches. You saw me putting mayonnaise on the buns. I will slather them in mayonnaise and broil them for about 2 minutes until they get nice and brown. They really don't taste super mayonnaise-y, but it just adds a really nice texture and taste to those bread. Next up is our Mississippi pork roast. This is another one that does really good in a crock pot. You see I have my canned meal in a jar here, but this comes together just as beautifully inside a crock pot whenever I don't have a jar of this on my shelf. Let me read you the ingredients. You need about a 3-pound pork roast, or 3 to 4 pound pork roast, and then about a cup of sliced pepperoncinis, and a tablespoon of beef broth powder. Depending on how many people you're serving, you might want to do 2 tablespoons, and then just some of the peppercini juice. And then once you get all that mixed in, you want to add a packet of ranch dressing dry seasoning. I have done it before with already made up ranch dressing, but it wasn't as good as the dry mix, so I do highly recommend the dry mix. But you will just need to cook that on low for 6 to 7 hours, and it is fall apart tender every single time. We usually do this with sides like mashed potatoes and peas that you see here. We love serving this with squash casserole, even something like a coleslaw. But this Mississippi pork roast is delicious and comes together, basically cooks itself inside of a crock pot. Okay, last but not least is our Hungarian pork goulash. This was a recipe that we just discovered a few months ago, and it has quickly become one of our favorites. Let me read it to you here. This is, again, something you can cook up in the crock pot. You're going to want about another 3 to 4 pound pork roast, and you will just put that in your crock pot, slice up an onion, shred that around there. Put some finely chopped garlic. Make it as garlicky as you want. I would probably do maybe 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, and then sprinkle on your seasoning. So 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of oregano, and then put some mixed peppers in there, like green bell peppers, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, something like that. A small jar of tomato puree, a small can of chopped diced tomatoes, and sprinkle with salt and pepper, and let it cook on low all throughout the day. And again, you have a delicious meal that is ready for you. We like to serve it over mashed potatoes. That's all for today, y'all. Hope that was helpful to you. If you have not had a chance to check out our canning cookbook, I will link it in the description box below. Several of the meals that you saw in this video is in that cookbook, and even though you can cook them up in a crock pot, if you know how to can, you can get these on your shelf in shelf-stable format to where it's literally a dump-and-go type meal. That's all for today. See y'all next time. Bye!